what am I supposed to do, really? I just realized that he's that much of a bitch. And maybe he'll sue me for saying that.
Ryan Garcia has trolled Devin Haney on social media and taunted him to be ready for their rematch. Following his press conference for the upcoming bout against Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia addressed the topic of a potential rematch with Devin Haney. Garcia firmly stated that he does not seek redemption, claiming that it would be Haney who should be asking for forgiveness. He questioned how Haney's brother had prior knowledge of his positive test results, raising suspicions of the situation before it was officially reported.
I feel like he got to get redemption. I feel like they had it in their back pocket and they never answered this question. I said, how did your little brother know the whole time that supposedly I was going to test positive way before it even came out? They never answered that. That shit's weird.
However, while expressing his stance on the rematch, Garcia acknowledged the need to be cautious with his statements, citing the risk of legal action from Haney and his team. He implied that previous legal disputes have made him wary of speaking too openly about the situation.
And one, I personally can't trust Victor Conte, but I can't say too much because, again, they try to sue me, bro. Like, that's why I can't really say nothing. Okay. They might sue me. I'm not even kidding.
Further emphasizing his position, Garcia made it clear that a rematch would only be possible if Haney dropped the legal charges against him. He acknowledged that he had not attended any of the depositions, instead opting to have his lawyer handle the proceedings on his behalf.
What?
Did they make you go to deposition for the lawsuit?
I said I'm not going to give you a rematch unless you drop. See if they hold to their word.
But did you go to deposition?
No, I didn't go to nothing. I sent my lawyer, whatever.
Meanwhile, Devin Haney shed light on his plans. Haney addressed his decision to take the year 2024 off before returning to face Jose Ramirez. He explained that his time away from the ring was due to the birth of his child, as he wanted to focus on his family. Haney emphasized that the break allowed him to rest and recover, ensuring that he returned at the right moment. When he did step back into the ring, he aimed to face a top contender in the division, with Ramirez being a prime option.
And no, I took the year off because, like I said, I was going to. I wanted to spend some time with my family. I just had a baby, stuff like that. So I wanted to rest and recover, and I wanted to come back when I felt it was the right time. And but when I came back, I wanted to fight the best fighters in the world. I didn't want to just face any regular Joe Blow. I wanted to fight a two-time world champion like Jose Ramirez, and that's why we picked him.
In response to claims that he had been exposed, Haney responded by pointing out that he had faced an opponent who was on PEDs, which influenced the outcome of their fight. However, he made it clear that any doubts about his abilities would be answered when he steps back into the ring against Jose Ramirez on May 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I fought somebody on PEDs, so that's how that fight was. But we move forward, and now the world wants to see what Devin Haney's going to show up, and I'll look to give everybody all those answers on May 2nd.
Adding to the discussion, Jake Paul has addressed in the past on his podcast that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are likely to run it back in a rematch. He suggested that the lawsuit could stem from the alleged use of PEDs by Garcia, which may have impacted Haney's reputation and career. Paul also pointed out that despite everything, Haney cannot knock out Garcia in a fight.
Nah, Devin Haney's suing him.
For sure they're going to run it back because
Devin Haney's suing him for assault and battery.
That's wild.
Nah, that's crazy.
Like a woman,
crazy.
like he beat his girl up.
I mean, like, what do you
crazy,
do
bro.
though? Like, Devin Haney was looked at as like a, like a mini Floyd.
Hell yeah,
He fights like Floyd.
I guess the
Not really.
rationale is that
He was until Ryan Garcia.
if he used PEDs to beat him, then it ruined his reputation. And how much damage did that cost to his career? And that's what he's suing for.
I get it, or you could just get it back in blood.
Meanwhile, Garcia himself elaborated that the reason he remained composed during the press conference while sharing the stage with Devin Haney was due to the ongoing lawsuit against him. He acknowledged that anything he said could potentially be used against him, as he had already experienced in the legal proceedings.
What should we expect at the press conference? For one reason, he's suing me. At the end of the day, I don't know what I could tell him. Everything I've said is now used against me. So I don't know what to say to them. At the end of the day, anything I could say can be used against me. So what am I supposed to do, really? I just realized that he's that much of a bitch. And maybe he'll sue me for saying that. Who knows? Who knows? He might use that in the deposition. But He used a lot of my tweets in the deposition. Everything I said, he used against me.
Garcia then went on to criticize Haney's approach, pointing out that Haney had even referenced several of his tweets during the deposition. Viewing this as a sign of weakness, he suggested that Haney was relying too much on legal actions rather than settling matters differently. Ultimately, Ryan stated that he has nothing more to say to Haney and his team, emphasizing that his only focus is on defeating him again. He made it clear that he does not feel the need to say anything further, as he believes he has already proven that he got the better of Haney in their fight.
This is the weak state of mind this man has. He's taking words and using words against me and in the court of law. So at the end of the day, I don't got nothing to say to these guys. I just want to beat his again, and that's it. You know, I don't have to say anything more. I already proved it. I beat his.
Further addressing Haney's mindset, Garcia dismissed any speculation about being in his opponent's head by stating that he does not know and does not even care if he is in Devin's thoughts. He believes Haney is simply trying to regain confidence after the loss, emphasizing that Haney and his team have been doing everything they can to rebuild themselves since that defeat, dismissing their efforts as meaningless. Ryan made it clear that he wants no part of it.
I don't know, and I don't even care. I feel like they're trying to get any ounce of confidence over me right now, coming off that loss. And, you know, they've been doing that since they lost, trying to gather all the strength they can to try to right that wrong. You know, it was a bullshit call with the steroids, and it's a bullshit call with the suing. So all that shit is just bullshit. I don't want no part of him.
Echoing this sentiment, Sean Zittel reflected on an old clip of Garcia and Haney fighting as amateurs, suggesting that Garcia might just have Haney's number. He emphasized the idea that styles make fights, pointing out that Haney thrives as a masterful outside fighter, using his range to control opponents. However, Zittel noted that Haney is not as effective on the inside and may have finally met his match. He acknowledged Garcia as the faster, more athletic fighter with greater punching power, highlighting how Garcia's exceptional speed allows him to throw his left hook from a longer range than most fighters can.
Not that this wasn't the first time I thought this, but he may just have his number. Might just have his number. Styles make fights. Devin is an outside rangy master. That's where he's gonna beat you. Is on the outside. It's not an inside fighter like that. And in this style, he has just met his match, perhaps. You know, Ryan is the faster guy, the more athletic guy, the harder puncher, and he has such speed that he could throw the left hook.
During the Ring Magazine Awards, Haney admitted that the fight with Garcia was just as much a priority for him as it was for Garcia. He acknowledged that there was still a lot of unfinished business between them, making a rematch something that he believes must happen sooner or later. Haney also expressed that he was glad to hear Garcia wanted the fight as well, further fueling anticipation for a potential second showdown.
I mean, it feels great because at the end of the day, that's a priority for me. There's a lot of unfinished business in that fight, so that's a fight that I think that has to happen sooner or later. And so I'm happy that he wants to make that fight happen. He wants to see that fight.
Furthermore, Haney acknowledged that his path to a rematch with Garcia hinges on his performance against Jose Ramirez. He stated that if he does not win this fight, the opportunity to face Garcia again would not be there. For now, his primary focus remains on Ramirez, not just securing the victory, but doing so in a dominant and convincing fashion.
I mean, if I don't win this fight, then I don't get to those fights, especially the Ryan fight. So my main focus right now is Jose Ramirez, and not only just beating Jose Ramirez, but going in there and looking good doing it. Like I said, the whole world is going to be tuning in. They want to see what Devin Haney is going to show up. So I'm looking to go in there and make a statement, show the world that I'm back and even better. And then we'll see what's next. We'll look at that Ryan fight, and we'll switch our focus to that fight.
Before a potential rematch can materialize, both fighters must first handle their respective challenges in the ring on May 2nd. Haney is set to face Jose Ramirez, while Garcia will take on Rolly Romero, with both bouts carrying significant implications for their futures. Sean Zittel weighed in on the upcoming matchups, predicting that Garcia versus Romero will be the most explosive and entertaining fight among the 3 bouts in the Fatal Fury event. However, he also noted that Haney's fight against Jose Ramirez could carry the most significant storyline, given what is at stake for Haney's future.
The most serious and competitive fight on paper out of these 3 fights, I think Ryan and Rolly is the most explosive and the funnest fight. And then I think Devin Haney's fight may provide maybe the most significant storyline of them all. Maybe not the sexiest storyline, but the most significant one, which is what is Devin Haney? How's he going to look after this? Is he going to look like Fernando Vargas after the Felix Trinidad fight? Shaky anytime someone touches him with a clean shot.
Zittel also speculated on the challenges Haney might face moving forward, particularly regarding his resilience and confidence after the loss to Garcia. However, he acknowledged that this fight presents a major opportunity for Haney to make a strong comeback and silence many of his doubters.
You know, is that punch resistance still going to be there? That confidence? Will he be a little gun shy early in this fight? But Devin Haney has a chance to really come back strong and quiet a lot of people. We'll see.
Moreover, Sean predicted that Haney would emerge victorious against Jose Ramirez, likely winning by decision. However, he acknowledged an element of uncertainty, referencing Oscar De La Hoya's claim that Haney might be shot after his loss to Garcia. Zittel pointed out that the left hook could be a factor, making the fight more intriguing. If Haney is not the same fighter he once was, Ramirez might be able to capitalize on that. But ultimately, Zittel still favors Haney to get the win on the scorecards.
So I just think Devin Haney will definitely win this fight. But again, the pressure and the last thing to go is the punch and that left hook you mentioned. That does make it interesting. If Devin is shot, like De La Hoya said after the Garcia fight, it could, you know, Ramirez might be able to take advantage of that. I don't know how much because he's on the back nine himself. But I think that, you know, Haney will win a decision in this fight is my early thoughts. He's still an excellent boxer in the center of the ring.
Adding to the excitement, Oscar De La Hoya added to the anticipation surrounding Garcia's return, stating that when Garcia steps into the ring on May 2nd, fans will witness a completely different fighter, a beast in the ring.
But I like that because, man, once he comes out May 2nd, we're going to see a beast.
Addressing the timing of a potential rematch, Oscar stated that Haney simply does not want to return to the ring against Garcia after suffering a knockout loss. He suggested that Haney is looking to rebuild before considering another showdown with Garcia.
Devin Haney doesn't want to come back against Ryan Garcia after getting knocked out. It's not in the manual book of promoting fights or you know, it's not in the fighter's manual book. You know, where after you get knocked out, you fight the same guy again.
De La Hoya expanded on this idea, arguing that Haney requires a confidence-building fight before a rematch and warning of the risks Ramirez poses. He questioned what would happen if Ramirez landed a clean shot, wobbling or even knocking Haney out, calling it a potential disaster. Oscar suggested that Haney took the fight with Ramirez as a way to test the waters, possibly underestimating the danger Ramirez presents. However, he emphasized that Ramirez is a real threat and not someone to overlook.
So I think
would be a disaster.
It would be a disaster. And I think that Devin wanted to test the waters against Ramirez, thinking that Ramirez is not dangerous. But guess what? He is dangerous.
Meanwhile, Jose Ramirez expressed his excitement about being part of the event, emphasizing that what makes the fight even more intriguing is Haney's popularity in the sport. He acknowledged the significance of the matchup and the attention it brings, adding to the anticipation surrounding their bout.
You know, I'm very excited. You know, I mean, I've been a part of big fights, you know, but I would say, you know, my opponent, you know, his popularity in the sport, you know, definitely makes this very interesting.
Responding to the idea that Haney might not be the same after his loss to Garcia, Jose Ramirez downplayed the concern, stating that every fighter has good days and bad days. He emphasized that he is preparing for the best version of Haney, not underestimating him despite the setback. Ramirez made it clear that his goal is to be the one to pull off the upset and shock the world.
As a fighter, I don't pay attention to that stuff. You know, every fighter has a good day and a bad day. You know, I'm expecting the best version of Devin Haney. You know, and that's who I'm getting ready for. That's the reason why I get motivated. You know what I mean? I want to go out there and think. You know, just because you know he had a tough loss to Ryan and he's mentally not capable. You know, I don't want to. You know, I want to go out there and be the one that makes the surprises, you know, and shocks the world.
Surprisingly, Ramirez acknowledged Devin Haney's skill, particularly his footwork, but pointed out that Haney is still susceptible to getting hit and needs to work on his defense. He also emphasized that Haney has yet to face someone as big and strong as himself, suggesting that his physicality could pose a serious challenge for Haney when they meet in the ring.
He gets touched, you know. I know he's good with his feet, but he gets touched. He hasn't quite mastered that shoulder roll type of defense, you know. I seen him get touched against Linares, against other guys, Lomachenko. But honestly, you know, Devin hasn't faced someone like me. You know, big, strong, you know, guy. You know, I was a world champion, a unified world champion for a while too, so, you know.
Moving on to the other main fight between him and Ryan, Rolly Romero surprisingly revealed that any past beef between him and Garcia had long been put to rest. He stated that while many were criticizing and ridiculing Garcia during his struggles, he was one of the few who stood by him, defending him against the backlash. This was big coming from Rolly, as he never misses an opportunity to poke humor at situations.
The thing with me and Ryan is I done ended that beef long ago. Because I'll tell you guys all something. And while everyone over there bullying and slandering the mother, was the only one that defended him. Throughout all the bullshit, who's the only one that defended him?
His mama.
No, me.
In response to Garcia's remarks about the sparring session being a career boost for him, Romero wasted no time firing back. While Garcia views their past sparring as a turning point in his career, Romero has dismissed it as insignificant, insisting that their real battle lies ahead. With both fighters confident in their abilities and eager to prove themselves, this matchup promises to be an explosive clash that could leave a lasting mark on US boxing history. As fight night approaches, all eyes will be on the ring to see who backs up their words with action.
I mean, if I was cloud chasing, he would have had cloud. He didn't have cloud at that moment. He didn't have anything. So, but it's just sparring. We're gonna see in the real fight in the ring on May 2nd, and we're gonna make it a big fight. We're gonna make it one of the biggest fights in U.S. history, and that's for sure.
Moving on, while looking at the other side of things, Ryan Garcia views this fight as a pivotal moment for redemption, a chance to restore his reputation and reaffirm his commitment to boxing. Acknowledging past struggles with smoking and drinking, Garcia has been vocal about his dedication to making a change. Now focused on proving that resilience and professionalism can lead to a comeback, he aims to set an example both inside and outside the ring.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to be great. You know, I've always wanted to fight the best fighters in the sport. As far as, you know, my problems outside the ring, I've always had those problems. I mean, I don't know who else struggles with stuff like that, but that's just something I was struggling with. And, I want to just show everybody that you could come back from anything. And I want to show my dedication to the sport and just be a true professional. I admit my wrongs.
Garcia also emphasized that he does not want young fighters or fans to see drinking and smoking as acceptable ways to handle adversity. Instead, he sees this fight as a chance to reshape the narrative surrounding his career, proving that his comeback is not a fleeting moment, but a testament to discipline and determination.
You know, take my actions of drinking and smoking before the fight and try to, you know, think that's a way to handle yourself as a professional. So I came here to change that. And this is my first fight to get respect back and then prove everybody that it wasn't a fluke, and I'm ready to do it.
In addition, Ade Oladipo weighed in on the upcoming fights, stating that Devin Haney moving up to face Jose Ramirez at 147 pounds is a risky move. He also noted that Ryan Garcia fighting Rolly Romero at their agreed weight presents its own challenges. However, Oladipo emphasized that between the two, Haney is taking the bigger risk, given the jump in weight and the unknown factors that come with facing a naturally bigger opponent.
I think fighting Ramirez at 147 is so risky for Devin Haney. And to be fair, fighting Rolly for Ryan's risky as well. Especially at welterweight. Like, what are these guys doing?
Who's taking the bigger risk in your opinion?
Devin.
You think so?
I really do think so.
With both Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia set to take on formidable opponents on May 2nd, the boxing world eagerly awaits to see how these matchups unfold. The narratives surrounding both fighters continue to fuel speculation, but one thing is certain: how they perform on May 2nd will shape the trajectory of their careers. Let us know in the comment section below if there should be a rematch and who you have as a favorite. If you enjoyed this video, show your support by liking the video and sharing with a fellow boxing enthusiast. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss a beat.